Hi, welcome. Welcome, live viewers. Welcome, replay viewers. I wanted to take an opportunity, since I've revised all the freebies, I wanted to let you know, give you like a little class where we can explore how to use your fantastic freebies. But I'm going to start by introducing myself. I'm Laura Volpin-Testa. I'm the founder of Fashion Illustration Tribe. It's kind of funny because over the it's been 3 years now. I've been 20 years fashion faculty at Parsons School of Design in New York City. I've taught pattern making, draping, sewing, and then all for about 5-6 years, and then on and off, but like that was my primary course. And now for 15 years, I've been teaching portfolio as well as beginner model drawing and design concepts. So here's the thing. Recently I noticed, and I confided in my mastermind, my business group, I was like, you know what? I think one of the things that's holding me back in my business is that sometimes I'm like, I don't feel that fashion is necessarily the word. I teach fashion design for students going into the industry at Parsons. When I teach fashion at Fashion Illustration Tribe, I teach the same material, but the goal is different. My students can go on to the industry, then go on to apply to school, then go on to start their own labels. But I don't care. Like, I'm there to support whatever your goal is. But I realize more and more every day that passes that what Fashion Illustration Tribe is about is that I've watched so many students, they come to fashion school because they love it. They have a love for it. And it's a joyous and amazing thing. By the time they finish fashion school, it's something else. It's a whole different beast. They're kind of processed into an industry, and they got student loans, and their whole life has stopped for years. And what I want Fashion Illustration Tribe to be about, learning the same skills, but the mindset is totally different. You come when you can come. You tune in when your kids are asleep, after work, whenever you want to. You get this long-term access to your classes, and you come to find out, like I did, that I love fashion because I love people, because I love art, because I love design. If I hadn't come to fashion school, I never would have learned to draw. I'm glad I learned to draw. And I've enjoyed the work I've done in fashion design, but I've been very blessed. I was always teaching, so I could never have a full-time fashion job. It was always freelancing or something close to fashion, related to fashion. I'm also a musician, so I have this nice mix. But fashion study and fashion design industry can be something entirely different than the love that brings people to fashion schools. So fashion school is amazing, and it's not for everybody. And it may be for you as well as my course, and it may be that my course is all that you need. Fashion Illustration Tribe is about it's a lot about spirit. It's a lot about tuning in and tapping into your inner knowing that you may not even know yet. Here's what I tell people, and I learned the same thing personally about running a business. I always worked for somebody. I always worked for the university, and I thought that I had no business smarts. Like, I didn't know anyone in my family had ever had their own business. And then I thought, I always told my students that art, one of the myths we have to overcome about art is that you're born with it or you're not. You can do it or you can't. Because I've learned, I know it's not true. It's not true. I've had business students, marketing students, fashion marketing students come into my class and switch majors and become designers because they loved it so much, because they realized that they could. It's not you're born with it or you're not. You can or you can't. It's totally learnable. And so a lot of people come to fashion because they love art, and they always thought they weren't artists, and they didn't know that they could access my love for fashion had actually gotten me into a whole world of fine arts, all arts. When I came to New York, I don't know how Parsons functions now, even though I teach there. They've changed all the time. But when I went, the first year was nothing but fine arts. And in all those 4 years of university, when I created Freedom Fashion, I said, I want Freedom Fashion to be the nuggets, the real juice of what I learned, because, you know, for all the 20 years of student loans I paid off, for all the classes I had to take, I can sum up my Parsons education in a few classes. I had an incredible pattern making, draping, and sewing teacher. One teacher, if I talk about it, I get all goosebumps, like incredible. And I can't remember if that class was 6 or 12 hours a week. It was like all day, but it was all year. And to this day, I'm amazed how much I know. It's also because much experience since then, and I taught pattern making and draping and sewing for years too. So, but regardless, like I'm like amazed what I learned in that class. The other part, drawing, learning how to use art supplies like an artist. Color theory, which is something I'm adding to the program this year. Haven't added it yet. And that's the amazing thing. That's why I'm so excited to call people in for the summer session, because the more students we get, the more we can keep adding to the program. You're going to see in the links that I have 3 tiers available for summer session. One tier is the self-study of the 16-week. It's like a semester. It's just like an online fashion semester that I teach at Parsons, where we go from beginner model drawing and art supply. Then we get a little more advanced with the model drawing. And let me tell you, model drawing, if you look at fashion images and you love the way the models move, or you love the way they, you know, the expressions and the gestures. I know that's something I always loved, long before I realized that I'm a dancer too, and that I love to dance. When you start studying model drawing, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. It's goddess art. And I'm not saying that it has to be a model. When I say model drawing, I mean figure drawing. How does the body work, and how can we represent it and capture all of these amazing poses, and right? It's incredible. So then we do the model drawing, and that's something that so Freedom Fashion, we go from art supplies, model drawing, then we learn how to make a mess. Before you get to some like perfect piece of finished polished art, I want to learn to let you get paint on your hands and get messy and have a sensual, tactile, visceral experience of fashion, of art and creation. When you tap into this, your self-esteem soars. When you tap into this, your creativity soars. I'm sorry, I did that. When you tap into this, you tap into, I don't know what else to call it but magic, because my whole life, whenever I came to a piece of blank paper, I would just kind of freeze up. After my year of discovering art, just because I love fashion and went to fashion school, it was mind-blowing, the skills I acquired. And those are the skills that I teach in the course. This is what I want to pass on to you. In the level 1 option, you get the 16 weeks, so it's like a semester. The model drawing, and then you get some technical drawing, because it's nice to understand the details you see in the clothes and be able to capture them. Then we do the watercolor. Gouache is a special kind of watercolor. You can use any kind of watercolor. We'll talk about why we use gouache, show you what kinds of paint and techniques for using the paint, to be explorative and free. And we also explore techniques for using the paint to be specific, how to mix colors that match fabric swatches, how to represent the fabrics or render the fabrics we see, how to find fabrics, bring fabrics together to create collections of clothing using those fabrics. So exciting. Then we talk about, how to start putting clothes onto the body. So it's not just understanding the body and the gestures of the body, but how to get the silhouettes, the flow of the clothes, how to shade the clothes so they have a 3D feeling that kind of pops off the page, how to create stories around evening wear, around summer wear, around lingerie or swimwear, because we want to really stay focused on the body. We're going to talk about prints, how to render prints, and then what kind of stories prints can tell. And that's a whole semester, 16 weeks, so just like I would do at the university. And during that time, it's a self-study. You can just access your classes. There is discussion area after every single lesson, and I go in regularly to see the discussions. So I'll be answering questions. It's not like coached like the higher tier levels, but you're still gonna, there's nothing I love more than watching you share your work, give each other feedback, build a community, and grow in your creativity. So you will definitely see me there. And we just won't have a live component. So in the second option, you get a full year of access to the course, and you get not only the 16 weeks, but you also get the weekly live calls. So during a live call, you can come in, meet your classmates, and get feedback live. So you can show your sketch. It'll be on a Zoom like this video that we're doing now, and you can show and you get some feedback from me. And it's not the kind of thing like, this is right, this is wrong. That's not how I teach. It's the main thing that I get when I work with students right away is that I can see who they are and what they have to offer, because I've worked with so many hundreds and hundreds, over 1,000 students over the year. I've seen so many voices. And so when I see your work, I can feel already what you bring to the table in a way that you may not be aware of, and you usually aren't. And also, because you're so used to being yourself, you don't realize your gifts. And because you're so persistent on progressing, you don't realize what you're doing right. You usually realize what you're doing wrong. So I'm there to show you how amazing you are and to keep bringing it out of you. In the signature premium option, you get the 16-week course. You also get 30-minute one-on-one sessions with me throughout the year, one a month. So that's 6 hours of one-on-one coaching through your work, but you get lifetime access to the course, and you'll also get the evening wear module, the knitwear and winter modules, and the digital drawing module, which I may gift out to people who sign up today for the other options. Just to mention it to me, and I'll put you in, because I'm someone who's, like I said, I'm very much about the messy, very much about the art, but I want you to have access to digital tools as well, because they're portable. You can take them anywhere. And if you've been watching my videos or talking with me, I bring it up very often how liberating the digital art supplies are, because you can try out a whole lot of things without buying them. Like one good painting app is only like $5, and it has markers, pencils, watercolors, different colored papers, chalks, brush pens, all this stuff just in your tablet or iPad. Plus, it has this feature where you can undo things. So you can draw something and be like, I wonder how marker would look on that. Oh, I don't like it. Undo. And you can go back a step. Whereas, with your art supplies, you never get that option to try something and then undo it. I don't encourage erasing. You'll see that I'm someone who's very much about building your drawing, not being perfect, and about a process, that your art should tell a story, and part of that story is how it was created. That's not for everyone, but that's my vibe. So this, you can look at some of my design sketchbooks. This is from when I was a student, but they're not I don't know what that seems like to you, but they're not like super clean. They're like explorative. And these may not even be the best example. I just wanted to share some of my sketches from when I was a student. And I also want to tell you that I don't draw these really tall, skinny models anymore either. I don't teach any body distortion because Fashion Illustration Tribe is very much about empowerment and support of who we are and how our lives really are and how amazing we are without having to lie about us. We just adorn ourselves. This is a good course for anyone who thinks they can't draw and they want to get, when they know they love like beautiful things and they love fashion and they want to go deeper. It's also for someone who, you know, always thought they weren't creative, but then they kind of know they are because it calls to them all the time. And this is what I always say, is that if you're called to do it, it's in you. You wouldn't be called to beautiful things if it wasn't in you to create beautiful things. You wouldn't be called to fashion if you weren't recognizing the beauty in it. Fashion's so complex, you know, it's society, it's colors, it's textures, it's something that moves and lives. It's something we can't avoid living with every day, so it really does touch our lives and everyone's lives. It's also something that's in the media, for good or for bad. And it's also something that we can approach in an ethical and sustainable way. There's like different ways that we can approach it. We can approach it as a business or as an art, or even as like an ultimate journey of self-expression. And for me, I want you to get to that state where you know you can come to your sketchbook, you can come to a piece of paper and tune in to magic. You can tune in and be like, the ideas will start to flow and you'll be like, amaze yourself. I just got a little nervous that I may be in the wrong meeting. So let me just take a quick second to make sure that I accessed this properly. Okay, and then I'll come right back. And actually, I'm quite sure that I did. So I'm just gonna check this and then I'm gonna do. Hi, Ursula. That's great. Okay, so I was just doing a double check to make sure I was in the right classroom. I'm so glad you're here, and I just gave a long kind of preamble telling about myself and philosophy of the class. I would love to get, oh, you know what? I have everyone muted, so let me see if I can undo that. Let me just see, that's odd, unmute all. That's one way to do it. I want to learn to mute one by one, unmute one by one. So feel free to chime in if you want, and you don't have to. You can put your audio on just to talk. When you touch the screen, just anywhere, you'll see that you have an option to mute or unmute yourself, and you'll also see that you'll have an option to start video or not. So whatever is comfortable for you. Hi, I'm Laura Volpentesta, and I recognize your name, well, for two reasons. My mom's best friend was Ursula. We used to call her Ushi. But the other reason is I think we have had some emails, but that may not be true, but I feel like that's what I remember. But I think what I'll do now, if you don't have questions, and I welcome your questions anytime and all the time, but I'm going to go into some of the actual content that I said I would. I've been on for about 10 minutes talking about what Fashion Illustration Tribe really means and how it's so much more than fashion per se. I've always taught fashion students going into an industry, but here, while you still get the same tools, this is so much more soulful. Although I always take that approach in my classroom too, but it's about expressing yourself and about getting into art. I think a lot of us come to fashion because it's an art and we see the art and we love it, but we think we aren't artists. And when I went into fashion, I found that it landed me into art as well. And that it's a call to really get creative. to tap into your creativity, be able to sketch models, textures, colors. I really thank you for coming by. And I wonder if you got your freebies, because that's what that's what I said I would talk to you about. So I want to make sure that I give you that. Let me just make sure I have my things set up proper. Okay, so we're going to go into the freebies. Shoot, I've been on Zoom before, but this is kind of, okay, now I got the chat in the corner. That's better. So because I'm using the computer, because that enables me to record the Zoom session, I'm going to pull up the freebies here on my iPad. And the first one is the 100 Fashion Design Inspiration Prompts freebie. If you're here, then you probably got the emails today with the links. But if you're watching this for some reason and you never got the freebies, you probably haven't subscribed to my website. So subscribing at fashionillustrationtribe.com. Any page on that website has my opt-in box where you can put in your name and you can get your, you can hop in and get your name, and then you'll get your name and email. And when you subscribe for the email updates, you'll get an email that has model drawing lesson, the 100 fashion design inspiration prompts link, as well as the flat sketching guidebook, sketchbook, and a lot of croquis templates that you can use to design as well. So what happens in here? I'm opening up the freebie here. I'm getting a weird view because, hang on, I don't, it's always something when you're on live, right? So in the booklet, it starts with a figure here, and the reason you have this figure, oh, that is not working with the light. This posed figure is in case you want to dress her. So you can print it's a PDF, so there's 30 pages. That's page 2. All the other figures are at the end of the PDF, and they're numbered 20 through 30. So you can print the ones you want. You can just print the page number 28, page number 27, whatever. And as you print them, you are able to, use them to sketch. So no matter how frightened you might be of sketching or not, just you can decide. You have a body now. You have a body on paper. So you can decide, you take a fresh piece of paper over that. I can also show you how to do that in an art apps. As a matter of fact, I'm going to just screenshot this right now so that I can show you that also tonight. We still have half an hour. So, but please pipe in if you have Q&A at any time. So you have all these different body types, poses, and straight models. A lot of different styles of models and poses so that you can put a piece of paper over them and draw. So you can print them, you can use them right in the iPad, whatever. Tayasui Sketches is my favorite sketching app. I have a lot of videos about that, and I love to share how much I love that app for fashion illustration. There's some other apps I use for fashion illustration too, but Tayasui Sketch is definitely the best. I love it. So in the sketchbook, here's the thing. What I wanted to teach you about how I use them is this. I'm just going to randomly pick some from the list to give you an idea of the kind of prompts that you get in case you haven't printed yours yet. 1, hit the thrift stores or retail boutiques, department stores, for inspiration, sketch from racks and windows and try things on. So this is just like if you need to jumpstart your design thinking, get out there, go to one place and try things on. Something is bound to inspire you. Not only that, but when you're trying things on, you can look inside the clothes, you can get a closer look at the detail, you can feel it on your skin, you can feel how it fits you. I'm a huge proponent of designing for your body and your life because that's what you know so well. It's not something you have to do, but if I'm designing, sketching ideas, I'm best suited to design for me, right? Another prompt here is think of boxy and oversized, or think skin tight and clingy. Take one of those and play with it. Sometimes it's just nice to, you get that kind of writer's block, and you get some random ideas and you can start sketching from them. Likewise, what I just said, boxy or clingy, or let's see one here, focus on graphics, logos, prints, typography. Here's another, color blocking. Combine fabrics or colors to turn a solid colored garment into more of a pieced collage by cutting different panels in different fabrics. Let's say this was red and this was plaid and that was blue. That would be color blocking, and this was green. Let's just say. The thing is, even if you don't want to draw any of these prompts, you can take a book. This happens to be a very, very, very old one from when I was a student, but like you can make boards. So like, let's say the mood was boxy. I said something about boxy. So here's some really loose, airy linen garments. And these pants are very loose. So maybe one of the words on that prompt list inspires you to dig into your magazines and pull out some fabrics and pull out some fashion images, pull out words, textures, colors, shapes, whatever. So I have more kind of boards like that, where it's like a word and a pattern and an image that all come together. That's the kind of creativity that you can already start with even before you start drawing much. Creating mood boards and fabric boards, creating color palettes that you pull out of artwork. Okay, this is where it begins. And what I wanted to show you, I kind of thought we'd have more of a group here. And maybe it's just something about stripes. So like on here's I'll just read another one of the prompts is trims or notions. Lace, ribbon, hooks, rivets, Velcro, snaps, twill tape, elastic. Use it in a new way. So you might suddenly get an idea, but like, oh, I have that ribbon upstairs that's blue. What if I use that on the edge of all the edges of my collection? I'll take this fabric swatch and that ribbon and bring them together to design new pieces. So designing can just mean that you sketch the idea, and it's like crazy exciting, because what I like to teach is I will often have you teach sketch from photos to build your vocabulary of a pose, of a model, of a certain piece of clothing or a certain kind of collar. So that's drawing what you see. And then the other concept is drawing your ideas. Drawing your ideas comes from another place, but usually tap on the vocabulary you've made in drawing what you see in order to draw your ideas. And the thing about fashion is a lot of people tend to think of it as drawing one image, and that's great too. But to me, I'm like, that's goddess art, period. Draw an image in all its glory and exaggerate the color and the texture as much as you can to tell your story about what you see. Fill it with your soul and your style and use it as something to explore on. But another really cool thing that I think a lot of you probably don't know about is this concept of creating collections. So you may sketch one really cool garment, one cool jacket, or one girl in a leotard, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, and you sketch another one, but this one has short sleeves, and then you sketch another one, but this one is a pantsuit, and then you sketch another one, but that one has a scoop neck, and then you sketch another one, but that one is, and you start getting more and more ideas. V-neck, scoop neck, hang on one second, cancel. Save, this is so odd. I don't know what just happened. I was making an audio recording. you start riffing out and exploring and you're just going to see that ideas start to flow and flow and flow, and you actually can't capture them fast enough, but you capture them as fast as you can, and it's exhilarating. It is a lot of fun. Now the other thing I wanted to show you how you can also make those kind of boards. Remember I showed you that sketchbook with the cut up magazines and fabric in it? There's an app I want to teach you to use to also make mood boards in your computer. So that is super cool. I want to see if I can do a screen share. It will be my first time. Here it is. Share screen. That means, oh, this is wonderful. Okay. Before I share, can you see my screen? I don't think you can. Okay. Zoom, I'm gonna have to do a little more practice with the Zoom. Here's my, I'm gonna show you the page that I want to show you. It's canva.com. So for example, here I created like a brand board kind of thing. But how did I do it? I used canva.com. It's a free app. I'm just waiting for it to load. Here we go. It loaded. And then what I did was in Canva, you can add text. That's how I added these blocks here. They're still loading. These are color codes. You don't need color codes, hex codes for your colors. But you see how I created like a collage here? So what you do is, let's say I'm going to make a new file. Ready? I'll go to Canva. You can create a file of any, let's see, leave page. Let me know if you can't see this. Okay, let's say I'm going to create something. I will go to blog graphic. Let's just take this page and I'm going to delete what's there because I want to start with a blank. It's already blank. Okay, so now I go to this uploads. Do you see over here at the left? Click on uploads. Well, you could start with the background. Let's just do that for fun. There are free ones and there are premium ones, and there's even just blank colors. But let's say I just pulled that in because maybe that I'm thinking of that as a fabric, or maybe it goes with my theme. And then I can go down here and start pulling in my own images, things from the desktop. They don't have to be my sketches. These are my sketches, but if it's you, it may be something that you saved to your desktop. And it's very easy. You can just drag your uploads in. They also have a mobile app. It's a little easier to do it on the desktop, but yeah. I'm gonna just pull in a few more of these images, and so you can create collages. Not only can you pull the images in, but you can and resize them. You can also add text to them. I'll show you that, and I will also show you, well, here's something. You can add filters to them. So if I click this image, let's say, hang on. Ugh, you can crop them too, but that's not what I wanted to do. It's okay, there's an undo feature. I'm gonna undo it, come back. It may be running slow because I'm screen sharing. It's acting a little funny. Maybe I have too many windows open. I'm not sure. Let me get that out. I wanted to, I can just swipe them away, but let's say I put this here. I wanted to show you that you can crop them, you can flip them, and that you can filter them. That's what I wanted to show you in a few ways. You can use preset filters, but you can also play with the transparency of anything that you share. Let me just, up here you can copy, arrange, meaning you can move things to the top layer or the back. Watch this when I arrange towards the back, just to show you. Isn't that cool? I can move it forward or back. And then if I go to the arrange tool, I can bring the transparency up or down. Isn't that cool? Aside from doing the filters. Oh my gosh, and the time is getting short. So before we go, I wanted to show you, I wanted to do Q&A, but we don't have anyone, nobody talking. So I'm gonna take you to the one more thing I wanted to show you by using your freebie. So let's say, actually I'm gonna take these off and I'm gonna add this, because now if I add this, then I've brought fabric into the board, not just illustrations. That fabric can become an inspiration for my collection. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? Okay, and take these off because I want this board to be about specific design details. So I'm gonna take the ribbons, the sequins, and I think I have something else here. I'm gonna take this beautiful girl with the flowers in her hair, and I'm gonna use those to start designing. Arrange this by sending it to the back. Okay, so now I have a mood board. I can download it by clicking download. Download, it's gonna go into my thing, my download box. Then I can pull it onto my desktop and use it. I can just use it here by the screen anyway while I'm sketching. Okay, so you can see that we had sequins, tassels, and tropical flowers in this girl's hair. So I'm gonna look at how I can incorporate that into my design concept. Let me get my screen back so that I can be in touch with you guys. Okay, it's uploading. Let's see. Come on, Zoom. Choose a large active speaker video. Oh, because I'm still screen sharing. So I'm going to stop screen sharing. Okay. And I'm going to bring you back to the other freebie, which I'm also going to pull up on here. I would have gone more in depth if we had a crowd and we were all talking, but since not, I'm just going to show you quickly the other freebie. Besides the model drawing video, I think I'm going to do a series of videos about these, okay? But if you go to the model drawing video freebie, no, not that, to the flat sketching freebie. For this, that's the one I'm looking for. I just have to search it here, flats freebie. You can take your mood board, your model croquis, because I give you a bunch of those, right? And then you can take the sketchbook. Again, it doesn't look so good. It doesn't translate so well to, because of the lighting and the zoom, but shows you how flares work, how we draw them. It gives you a space to practice. Shows you how gathers work. First I draw a silhouette, where the gather lines are, and then I actually add the gathers in. It goes through step by step. It gives you some samples of the details, and then it shows you again, I add a little bit each time I draw. So as you read the details on those pages, that's going to help you a lot too. But when you get to the last page of both of these books, you get you know, a model. So, oops, she disappeared. But if I take the model and I bring her onto a piece of paper, printer, I can take a piece of paper, just photocopy paper, lay it over that model. I'm going to teach you to draw freehand, but something you can do right away is just put that over the model. We call it a template because it's a pre-drawn body. And I'm going to bring you into the digital app that I love. Oh, there's one of my illustrations that I did on Tayasui Sketches. But I can go into this app and I can pull in. Sometimes I screen share from here to there, but I can't do that right now because I'm long story. All right, I'm gonna pull in a photograph. I love Tayasui because Tayasui lets me do that. Some apps don't. So it's an art app that allows me to bring in a photo. And when I was with you a minute ago, guys, remember that I had screenshotted this girl? So check this out. I can take her, and then I can take the layer that she's on. Wait a minute. Oh, I didn't like accept her. I need to say yes by clicking this little check mark at the bottom. You see a little blue check mark? I'm going to click it. And it's going to make her a layer. The little layers icon. It's up there on the right. See those 3 little layers? Just going to click on it. And you'll see that she becomes a layer. Now I can make her less dark by, I'll just click on the layer setting and I can do the opacity. So look, she becomes lighter. if she becomes lighter and I say, okay, then I can take like my pencil and my pen. And we talked about boxy, right? Remember that? So let's say, I don't usually draw upside down, but I think I can handle it. Do I have a black pen? I want a black pen. Okay. I just need a pen. I'm going to use a brush pen or ink pen. Let me do an ink pen. Okay, but I don't want my ink pen to be sheer. So let me go back. I'm going to take a new layer. That's what I meant to do. I'll show you. Click here. Pick a new layer. And Billy, you don't have to work digitally at all in my courses, but that's how I'm choosing to show you this tonight. So he's getting something new. Okay, now I need my black pen. So here's my black. Here's my pen. And I want to make sure it's opaque and it's big now. And for some reason it's not drawing. Why is it not drawing? Couldn't tell you. So let me just try to fix that for a sec so I can show you the tool that I really wanted to show you. Hopefully it's going to work for us tonight. What a shame. One more second. Thanks for your patience. Why wouldn't it work? Can't think of a single reason why it wouldn't work. It's a bummer because what I would do is I would be drawing my ideas right on top of her. Maybe it's set for the Apple Pencil instead of, and I'll have my Apple Pencil with me. Let me try this. Let me see if this will work. It's just another stylus. Incredible that things that usually work choose to not work when I'm on the webinar. So sorry. Okay, so one thing I can do when it's not working is I can close it and reopen it. Let me try that once. I'm gonna try a different tool just to see if I can get it to work. Wow, it's acting like it's actually refusing to draw. That's not a very good advertisement for the app, is it? Try one more time. Open it up and pull out my pen and draw. Okay, now it's working. So I guess it was glitching and I just had to close it out. So what I want to show you is, let's say we were talking about boxy, right? So let's say I was thinking about some boxy clothes. I could, think about what's boxy to me. I already have a body. So what if I want to experiment with some clothing ideas, and then maybe and the good thing is, look, two finger swipes, I can undo anything I want. Yeah, maybe I want to do like a very loose dress. Like I said, I don't usually draw upside down, but not so great. But maybe it becomes fun. Maybe I just keep adding to my sketch. Like maybe I'm gonna belt it. Put some gathers from the belting. Maybe. Oh, okay. Really not happy drawing upside down. And I usually like to use a more sensitive pencil. So before I go, I'm just going to show you one last thing. So if you take, I want to take a black pencil. Don't answer that, please. You can just leave it. I know, I appreciate it, sweetie. And the last thing I'm going to do is just take this pencil here. I'm going to do some puffy sleeve things. I don't know what made me think of those puffy sleeves, but maybe like rows of ruffles up on the sleeve. Using a pencil too is so much softer. And you know what? This isn't even boxy, but you know what? I'm not feeling boxy. Maybe these are gathers. Maybe it's a fitted little dress for the peplum. And the thing is, once I'm done with her, I can make another one. You can duplicate the page, or you can even make the girl disappear and just keep your sketch. You can screenshot it, whatever. You can color it in. We're picking a color that maybe goes with, remember that mood board we worked on? It had like a bright turquoise background in it. So maybe I'm gonna take the same color and I'm gonna paint with that, but that's colored pencil. So I'm just gonna take it. Oh, and you know what? Zoom is gonna kick me off in a few minutes, which is well enough because I'm sure I've taken enough. Whoops, I wanted the paintbrush. There we go. Oh, but it switched colors. Okay, because after I select my tool, I have to select the color again. But you can add color to it quickly. You can even add some, whoops, shadow to it by going back. Yeah, I love this app. So anyway, and then you can come back with the pencil over the dried paint to like clarify some of the lines you lost. Like that's something I always like to do. Those are the kind of tips and tricks you'll learn when you're in the program. There's so much you're going to learn. Anyway, I welcome you to email me if you have any questions. There, right before we go, I just want to take you to the page, to the screen share page. Summer session page. This works. Here, oh, it's down here. That's why. This one, is that right? It didn't upload my changes that I did today. Screen sharing and the shared window is closed. Gotcha. Okay, I'm going to share one more screen, which is this one. And bring it up. Share screen. And bring it up. Screen sharing is paused. Hope not. Okay. And then I'm going to bring you to just the details. So here you can see the summer session meetings ending. Okay, that's great. Okay, that's okay. I just wanted to show you that all of the different options are here. At the top, there are only boxes that are clickable. If you come down here, you can learn more about what Freedom Fashion is. And you can also, if you come to the bottom, you'll see the new pricing tiers. So that's new. We have the full tier, which means you get monthly calls, 30-minute monthly calls all year, and from June to June. And not only do you get the 16th month program, but you'll get all the freebies. So there's the digital drawing course, not freebies, bonuses, the digital sketching course, the evening wear course, the knits wear design, the winter wear design. So these are all like new collections you get to design. So if you do the whole program, you're going to have a full portfolio. Like, it doesn't have to be, slick portfolio. It can be whatever that means to you, but you're going to have all these different collections you've designed and presented. So basically finished art that you've created. And sometimes it's even, so for some people, that's only sketchbook, and sketchbook is amazing. I say only sketchbook, but it's a loose, free, fun treasure trove place. And here's the list of what that comes with. In option 2, you get group coach calls on Thursdays for 16 weeks. You get just the 16-week semester. It's amazing. And I'm in there in the discussions all the time anyway, chatting up with you guys, is guiding you along. And then you even have this option, which is just the self-service. So you can just access all the videos, do it at your own pace, whatever. They're closing me out. Hi. Oh no. Hello. Let me just check. I'm going to stop the screen share and flip. Ah, darn. You know what? Zoom, the meeting ends in a few minutes. I'd love to meet you, and I'd like to schedule another one soon.